Hey everybody, welcome to our March market update. It is beautiful spring season,
Yes.
spring training. Craig, why don't you give us a quick
All right.
housing update?
Yeah, let's talk about what's kind of going on in the housing market. We have active listings 16,886. That was a couple of days ago. We're actually up 14.3% from March of last year. Another interesting statistic is that median sales price is up 5.8%. So we're now at a median sales price of $441,000.
So that's just basically the appreciation from year over year.
Yeah, and it's bouncing a little bit, but it's up, 5.8%, which is good. We are looking at monthly sales for February to March. We have 5,998 sales who closed.
What's the average generally that you see?
Right now, that's about the average.
Yeah.
A little less. Actually, it's gone up a little bit, but it's we've seen it kind of bounce around that number for a while. Let's talk about days of supply. So we have 86 days worth of inventory on the market. That means that if no new listings came on the market, we would be out of inventory in 86 days. That's up a little bit over last month, or last March actually. We've actually been hovering around that 80 days on market for a while now. So I think that's kind of a normal days on market.
Yeah, which is in contrast to like COVID, it was under a month supply.
Under a month supply. We're in a very different market. I mean, it was 16,000 homes on the market back a couple of years ago. It was, our what we had on the market then listed was about 4,000.
Yeah.
So we have so if you compare that, even though we're down where we should be with listings to be a normal market, compared to where we were 2 years ago, we're like tremendous. We have a tremendous amount of inventory compared to that. So that's a good thing.
So are you seeing like good inventory though, or is it still kind of sporadic?
It's sporadic, but we definitely see, there's amazing homes on the market. Just going on home tours and what I'm showing my own buyers, there's very nice homes on the market.
Yeah.
And homes that are priced well, show well, great location, they're selling quickly. A friend of mine put a listing on the market yesterday, and she told me this morning at Luxury Home Tour that she has an offer already.
Yeah, we just had a client that what seems to be like kind of a hot price range right now is like 600,000 to 800,000.
Yeah.
And we just had a client write an offer that ended up going 100,000 over list price.
Wow.
And they didn't get it, but there was 15 offers on the property.
Yeah.
So if it's priced correctly, redone well, it's going to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while that there's pent up demand and buyer demand, but with interest rates and the home prices, but I think we're at that point where if you need to buy a home, you're going to buy a home.
Yeah.
Right. Regardless of what the interest rate is, as long as what you qualify for with this new rate, this new model. You're going to buy a property.
Yeah.
Right. Because things change. I mean, in the last couple of years, since rates went up, life has happened, right? People have children, things happen in their world where they have to make a housing change. So that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, and I think just kind of talking about the rate environment, obviously we see trends upwards in rates, we see trends downward in rates, and it's kind of a little pinball, as I was showing you earlier on the charts. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when rates are going to come down, and we were kind of talking about this, that we may see more of an extended spring buying season, because that's our peak season, is the spring season. And kind of the data that's been coming in, especially this week from an inflation standpoint, inflation's still coming down. It's just not coming down as quick as the Fed would like. So we may see the Fed start to cut rates sometime in the summer versus a higher probability of like a month ago of them actually cutting in March, which is not going to happen at this point with all the data that's coming in. So that would be the reason behind why we see a lot of this pent up demand coming to fruition here in the summer season.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. It seems, but with that happening, I still do see people buying homes, right?
For sure.
I mean, they're out there buying and shopping. You're seeing offers coming in and contracts and
well, mortgage applications just on a week-over-week basis, we're up 11%.
Right.
So we're seeing some of this traction come in, whether they're buying now or in 90 days.
Right.
They're going to buy, and they're not as rate sensitive as they were, I think.
Right.
So
yeah, and I think we know that we're not going to go back to the 3% mortgage rates, and so the reality is that if you contrast where we are now to where we were many years ago, say 50 years ago, we're pretty much still on par with that.
Yeah.
Rates were high then, and the dollar, if you take a $100,000 home back then, cost of inflation, it kind of balances out where we were back then. So it's not an abnormal. It's just the sticker shock of what happened 2 years ago with that rate environment so low, and the prices going up. So, yeah. But I think, so we're gonna. I think we will see. I agree with you that we'll see an extended spring season moving into summer, and then and maybe rates will go down and even create more of a frenzy of buying, which could actually happen.
It's I mean, it's definitely possible, and I think that we're just kind of waiting on that, on being in the industry,
right?
And as a consumer, they're not monitoring these things on a daily basis, but there's a lot of activity that we're seeing out there. So,
moving into 16,000 homes on the market, that's a decent amount of homes to look at, and it's good. Like we just said, it's good inventory. So. If you are shopping, I have more and more buyers I'm taking more and more buyers out now than I have been in the past, and we're actively looking at buying homes.
If you have any questions on what we kind of chatted about or have a specific scenario, shoot us a DM, give us a call.
Yeah, talk to you later.